Welcome back. Early voting has officially started in Florida as candidates try to make their cases to sway voters ahead of November 8th.
The two candidates vying for governor, incumbent Ron DeSantis and former governor and Democratic nominee Charlie Crist, are set to square off later this evening in their first and only televised debate.
NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitali joins us now with more on this. So, Ali, we know one plan of attack from Crist is going to be confronting Governor DeSantis on what he calls his more far-right views. He recently said, quote, "Voters deserve to hear Governor DeSantis defend his extremist anti-woman, anti-choice, anti-freedom agenda." How might that resonate with voters there, especially in a state that's moving to the right? And what can we expect to see tonight?
Yeah, you make a great point there, Joe. This is a state that's been moving steadily into the red column, despite the fact that it was still and remains a swing state. But nevertheless, Trump won Florida in 2020. He, of course, won it in 2016. DeSantis came up through the Trump mold, so it makes sense that Crist would try to tie him not just to the former president, but also to the culture wars that DeSantis has been a leader on throughout his years as governor here, passing items like the Don't Say Gay bill, restrictive abortion laws, restrictive voting laws, all of those things in tandem with where the Republican Party is right now, but that Crist is trying to argue against. Sort of think of it as a microcosm debate for the larger national conversation that's playing out right now between these two parties.
Ali, you know, this debate was originally scheduled for October 12th, but was postponed because of Hurricane Ian. Talk to us a bit about how much Ian is impacting this election in Florida, and what are we going to hear from the candidates about it?
This is going to be huge, Stephanie, because parts of the state are still actively rebuilding, and it's a moment where DeSantis was seen by many of those areas as a leader in the aftermath of that hurricane, coming together in somewhat bipartisan fashion just to be with President Joe Biden, but also the fact that he's going to have to defend what the recovery looks like, even as voters are going to the polls in some of those places that are still recovering.
And now, Ali, we know fundraising for Crist has been a big struggle. Through the end of September, he raised just $5 million. Compare that to Governor DeSantis's $106 million. That is a huge gap. So how has that impacted Crist's campaign? And really now, as we head into this final week, how are both candidates looking to navigate the trail?
Look, the war chest question is always a big one. It's clear now you've got like 20+to-1 spending from DeSantis compared to Crist. That is just the imbalance at this point here. But look, for Charlie Crist, he's someone who's trying to return to the governor's mansion. The last time he held this governor's mansion, he was a Republican serving in that seat. Now, of course, trying to make a comeback as a Democrat. That's true for the party writ large here. They haven't seen a Democrat in the governor's mansion in over 20 years here in Florida. And look, for DeSantis, the stakes are not just what happens in November. This is a launching pad for him for whatever is next. The likely person who's watching politics, myself chief among them, is that he's likely to run for president in 2024. A big win here not just shows that Florida is behind him, but also provides him a springboard into the national spotlight at a time when many Republicans that I talk to say they see DeSantis as one of the heir apparents to the Trump mantle. The question is, of course, whether or not the former president is just going to let him have it by not running again, or if Trump is also going to make a go of it, meaning that these two men, one of whom, frankly, owes his political career here in Florida to Trump, are going to be sparring on the national debate stage just a few months from now, guys.
All right. A reminder, that's coming too soon. All right, Ali Vitali, thank you so much, Ali.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.